It's the AEW Elite General Manager Invitational.
Hey everybody, it's Aubrey and Chris here for the EGM Invitational Tournament. That's right, Elite General Manager, available now, iOS and Android. Download it for free. Super awesome game. Multiplayer, single player, we got it all.
And it's time for our final match of the first round. We got Brandon Cutler versus Excalibur. It's going down in Chinatown.
This is going to be really good. I mean, we've got Excalibur, who's got almost an encyclopedic knowledge of wrestling. Yeah. And we've got Cutler, who's an avid D&D player. Mm-hmm. So who knows if like the understanding of strategy and stats and whatnot, maybe that'll be a factor in this round. We'll see.
It's going to be an even match. Let's find out.
Hey, I'm Excalibur. I'm one of the commentators on AEW Dynamite, and I'm going to be the second best GM in all Elite Wrestling.
Brandon Cutler here. I'm going to be the best GM because I'm going to book myself to win.
Let's see what Excalibur pulls out with his encyclopedic wrestling knowledge base. We're starting out with Jungle Boy and Santana in singles action here in match 1. Jungle Boy is going off the top rope, and he takes the win. Next up, Excalibur books again a singles match in his second match of the week 1. Ricky Starks versus Orange Cassidy, but Orange Cassidy, we've already seen that he's pretty OP here, so that was a good matchup on his part. Match 3 of week 1, we've got Luchasaurus versus the champion, Kenny Omega. Ooh, but the Dinosaur pulls it out in great upset. Ooh, we only got a 2-star rating, but good increase in stats. We got a good chunk of fans, money, and morale going up. Good use of hospitality table in the third match. That's definitely going to give you a little bit of a boost without much cost. So fantastic resource management on Excalibur's end. Let's see how Cutler can compete. We've got week 1, match 1. We've got Chris Jericho versus Brody Lee. Fantastic matchup. Singles competition. And Brody, the Exalted One, takes the win. Here we are, match 2. We got Eddie Kingston and Sammy Guevara, completely different faces than what we've seen from Excalibur, so that was a really interesting draw just from the perspective of who's going to get what, who has the strength, who has the endurance, all these different wrestler stats. Cutler coming in with a third match that's a women's competition. Oh, and he booked Allie to win it. Let's see how he did. 2-star match, so he's keeping up with Excalibur. Hasn't really broken away at all. No use of the segments on the matches at all, but we can kind of see that his stats are kind of keeping up. We have Excalibur leading the charge in morale, but, fans and cash, Cutler's able to keep up. Here we are, week 2. Is Excalibur going to employ the same strategy he did last time, or are we going to see some changing up of the guard? We've got Santana and Ricky Starks. Great roster members. Santana takes the win. Match 2, we've got everyone's favorite match that they want to see. I know personally I want to see this. Kenny Omega versus Orange Cassidy. Ooh, Orange Cassidy again with his OP ways, hands in pockets, but definitely bringing home those wins. Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy, a little inner turmoil in Jurassic Express going on right here. My money's on the Dinosaur. I just want a lot of money. Excalibur played it safe in that run again, only using singles matches. Again, only gets him a good 2-star rating. Little increase in stats overall, money, fans, and morale. Backstage pull apart, different segment, changing it up. You're going to see an increase in stats or decrease in stats depending on the segment you use. So good variety there to kind of boost all the stats all around. Let's see how Cutler competes. Changing it up a little bit this time. We're starting with a women's division match. Again, he's booking Allie. I don't know what's gotten into him. And Allie keeps winning. Oh, this is like a cruel joke for Cutler. Match 2, we've got our first multi-man match of this round. 4-way with Chris Jericho, Eddie Kingston, Penta, and Brody Lee. Jericho, Le Champion, takes the win. Match 3, we're going to end this week with a main event of Sammy Guevara versus Penta El Zero Miedo. Oh, and Penta brings it home. Penta says he won. Ooh, 3-star match. Cutler seems to be employing a little bit of a change in strategy now that he's saving up some resources. He can spend a little bit more money to get a multi-man match. We could see that really worked in his favor, getting a massive increase in fans compared to what Excalibur was able to pull out. We're about halfway through this matchup. Here we are in week 3. What's Excalibur going to do? Starting it off with a 4-way match. Nick Jackson, Matt Hardy, Ricky Starks, and Jungle Boy. A couple familiar faces we've seen from previous weeks, but also some new addition of roster members. Jungle Boy ends up taking the win on this one. Match 2, we've got a rematch of Kenny Omega versus Orange Cassidy. Is Orange going to take the win on this one? You bet your bottom dollar he does. Match 3, we've got the ultra-dominant Luchasaurus, who's been really good for Excalibur up to this point, and Santana, who won in the last week. And then Luchasaurus ends up taking the win. The dinosaur is undefeatable. Finally on the board with a 3-star match. Steady increase in stats overall. No use of segments this week. However, good start with the multi-man match did get him a massive increase in fans compared to those 2 singles matches that he booked. Let's see how Cutler answers the call. Starting off with singles match, Jon Moxley versus Chris Jericho. We get a rematch of the title match from Revolution 2019. Ooh, and it went a little differently than last time. Chris Jericho takes the win. Cutler coming in with a strong tag match here. Matt Jackson and Sammy Guevara versus Eddie Kingston and Penta El Zero Miedo, his best friend. And we got a one-on-one match. Again, we've got that Allie and Brandy. This is the 3rd time they're facing each other. Ooh, and Brandy takes this one. A little upset for Allie. Let's see how Cutler did. Another 3-star match. Good, consistent work from Cutler's part. That first match he had, Moxley and Jericho, both of those big stars, bringing in a lot of fans. The multi-man match as well was really great. Women's match is bringing in a lot of consistent work without having to actually draft more wrestlers at all. So, good choice on Cutler there. For the final matchup of this first match in the round, we've got Matt Hardy versus Orange Cassidy. Matt Hardy, new addition to Excalibur's roster. Let's see how he does. No one could beat Orange Cassidy. We have a tag match here, Jungle Boy and Santana versus Kenny and Ricky Starks. Kenny's been dominant, Santana's been dominant. We're not quite sure how this one's going to work out. Ricky and Kenny take the win. Match 3, we've got the ultra-dominant Luchasaurus versus Nick Jackson. How is this one going to play out? My money's on the dinosaur. Yep. If I was in Vegas, I'd be making a lot of money on these matches. Thanks, X. How did he do? Ooh, we got a 3-star match. I think a big part was probably due to that on-stage promo in the match, in the main event match. That definitely helps Luchasaurus, who was already favored to win. We saw in previous matches, Luchasaurus is basically carrying all of these matches. Definitely a way to boost him up. Here we have Cutler coming in, starting off with a tag match. Oh no, a 4-way. My mistake. Sammy Guevara, Colt Cabana, Matt Jackson, and Brody Lee. Brody Lee's been a dominant force, and he continues to be so. 4th week in a row, we see Brandy Rhodes versus Allie. Cutler seems to really like Allie, despite saying that he doesn't like Allie. And ultimately, the ladies are 2 for 2. For 2 each on that round. Chris Jericho versus Sammy Guevara. Little turmoil inside the inner circle here. Les Sex Gods break up. Chris Jericho takes the win. 3-star match. Oh, we've seen that. Here we are. Cutler has crossed 2 million fans. His money is steadily coming in. Solid matchups. That first 4-way match ended up bringing in the most fans overall. Great stats brought in by all the matches. Main event definitely bringing in a lot. So,
Cutler, you lost this round. Very sorry. I know that you ended up having to book Allie a lot. Do you think that led to your loss?
That was 100% the reason I lost. I'm hoping the next round, I don't even have Allie on the roster. Right. That's how I'm going to win.
There's a lot of hate here. A lot of hate. We'll see if that hurts you or not going forward.
Carry a lot of hate on my shoulders towards Allie.
Excalibur, huge victory here in round 1. Do you think it had anything to do with you leaking a couple things to the dirt sheets? It's a little questionable tactic, but walk me through what was going through your head with that.
Well, if Cutler's going to give me that information freely, of course I'm going to leak it to the dirt sheets. This is a competition, and this is to find out who's the 2nd best GM in all Elite Wrestling.
So in your mind, at the end of the day, when all is said and done, you're going to take this thing home and you're going to be the 2nd best GM in the entire world.
Obviously.
Let's see if you can keep it rolling.
Excalibur starting with the Cutler technique of playing Allie. Allie falls to Big Swole. We got another singles competition, 2 women's matches back-to-back. Abaddon and Ty Conti. Fantastic matchup, but the Brazilian sweetheart takes the win. Matchup number 3, we've got Penta versus Luchasaurus. Singles competition, both excellent competitors. Luchasaurus seems to be a really great option. 2 stars, solid start. See if you can pick it up a little bit. Good use of segment in the second match. Backstage pull apart. Definitely going to help you out. but ultimately we saw the biggest increase in that second match, and that's why you end up using those segment modifiers. How is Cutler going to respond? Oh, also like Excalibur, opening up with the women's division match, we've got Riho versus Nyla, rematch from the first episode of Dynamite ever, and Riho, small but mighty, takes the win. Here we have Santana and Ortiz in tag action versus Jungle Boy and Kenny Omega. Ortiz and Santana, proud and powerful, been tagging a long time on the indies, and it shows. They take the win. And here in match 3, we've got Scorpio Sky versus Kenny Omega, both incredible singles competitors. Scorpio Sky, former tag champ, is no match for the champion Kenny Omega. How did he do? Brandon Cutler starting off strong with a 3-star matchup. Big increase in fans. That's ultimately going to be the thing that I think allows him to carry this competition into the second round. Starting off strong with a multi-man match in that second slot. Definitely good use there. So Cutler's starting off strong, but still being smart and taking the lessons he's learned from the first round. Let's see what Excalibur does week 2. Again, starting strong with another matchup in our women's division. We've got Allie versus Ty Conti, both excellent competitors. And Allie's going to take the fall again. Looks like Allie just ends up losing every time Excalibur plays her. Don't tell Cutler. Cutler's going to be real excited about that. We've got a second women's division match on this card, Big Swole versus Abaddon. No one can take that from A. Matchup 3, Luchasaurus versus Penta. This is a rematch that we've seen before. Is it going to go the same way? It absolutely is. Dinosaur is dominant once again. Week 2, again, only a 2-star matchup. Use that onstage promo segment modifier in the second round, so that helped a little bit. Having a good chunk of variety, not reusing any wrestlers, you're going to end up saving a bunch of resources on that, prevent some wrestlers from getting injured, but ultimately, I think you should be really pulling out some multi-man matches here if he really wants to increase the excitement of those matches. What is Cutler going to do in response? We've got Scorpio Sky versus Santana. It's a great, safe first opening match to start. Great guys in singles competition. Santana takes the win. We have another rematch between Riho and Nyla in singles competition. Strong match, strong competitors. Nyla takes this one. What an exciting main event. We've got a 4-way, Jungle Boy, Kenny, Santana, and Ortiz. Big risk playing Santana twice in the same match, but he's unstoppable this one. Ooh, 3-star match. Cutler got a huge increase in fans and money here, doing real great on the resources. Definitely that main event, if you could see here how much the fans increase, how much all of the stats increase, everything. Fantastic picks from Cutler's part. He's doing great. We're going to see how Excalibur does in this third round, but he's going to have to pull out some stops if he's going to take Cutler. Here we are, week 3, and Excalibur is kicking it off with a hot opener tag team action, Penta and Ricky versus Sammy and Luchasaurus. Luchasaurus been real dominant for both competitors, and he continues to do so, and him and Stanley taking the win. Match 2, another women's competition. Excalibur ended up drafting 4 women in this, which gives him a good chunk of variety. Our women's roster isn't as deep as our men's, so really giving a lot of variety here, and a lot of focus on our excellent female competitors. We've got another women's match. Here we are in the main event, week 3 for Excalibur, Ty Conti, but she's no match for the Zombie. Let's see what week 3 holds for Excalibur. 3-star match. He's doing pretty good. Not as big of an increase as we could have seen. That opening match definitely helped him a lot, but it could have done a little bit more. I think maybe had he booked a 4-way instead of a tag team, that might have given him a little bit more of an up. Now let's see how Cutler responds here. We got match 1. Another hot start. Looks like these two guys are on the same wavelength. Nick Jackson and Matt Hardy versus Santana Ortiz. Fantastic matchup. Proud and Powerful takes the cake. Here we are, another matchup. Riho and Nyla. 3rd week in a row. How is this one going to end this time? Nyla takes it 2-1. Strong finish to this week 3, 2v2, Kenny Omega and Jungle Boy versus Scorpio Sky and Nick Jackson. Using Nick Jackson twice in the same show, definitely risky. Could be risking injury long term, but ultimately using one less wrestler, potentially saving that for the next round. And it looks like it worked in Cutler's favor. He's got 3 stars this round, already over 2 million fans. This week 4 is, I think, just going to be a formality because Excalibur's going to have a really hard time really catching up to Brandon Cutler here. Here we are in week 4. Brandon Cutler is running away with it. Can Excalibur catch up to his dominant playstyle? Starting off strong with Allie and Ty Conti. Ty Conti with the win. Really strong 4-way matchup looking here. Penta versus Luchasaurus, Sammy Guevara, and Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks, absolute, takes the win. Fantastic matchup in our main event here. We've got Abaddon versus Big Swole. Abaddon's been dominant and finally is toppled by Big Swole. Swole, week 4, Excalibur doing great, but I don't think we're going to end up seeing him topple Brandon Cutler in this one. He's not even at 1.5 million fans, and Brandon Cutler, as we saw last week, has already crossed the 2 million threshold. Contract signing with Abaddon in the main event definitely helps increase your stats a little bit, but it didn't help Abaddon get the win, unfortunately. So let's see what Brandon Cutler takes us home with. Ooh, 6-man tag action coming up. Santana Ortiz, Nick Jackson, Matt Hardy, Jungle Boy, Kenny Omega. We see a lot of combinations that Cutler's used in previous matches coming to fruition here. Match 2, 4th time we're seeing it. Nyla versus Riho. This is the kind of match that gives Prince tickets because everyone loves these two. Everyone loves to see these two powerhouses, both small and tall, take it on. Scorpio Sky versus Ortiz in our main event. Good choice. Different variety of competitors. Really love both these guys. Ortiz ends up taking the win. I think what we're going to end up seeing here in this week 4, Brandon Cutler ends up getting 3 stars, well over 2 million fans before coming even into this round. He's pretty much killing Excalibur at this point. I mean, look at these stats. That's really, really strong 6-man tag starting off. That's one of your most expensive match types, but you're going to reap the rewards of that. So
Excalibur, very sorry. You had a great first round, but the second and third went to Cutler. What happened?
Again, the cheating was rampant. This time, using Allie, the strongest character in the game.
Strongest.
And, you know, it's impossible to overcome that. It's like when, when people would unlock Akuma in Street Fighter and you had no counters for that. That's exactly what it really brought me back to my days in the arcade.
Yeah. Well, very sorry. Happy to have you. Thank you for all of your efforts, and you are not the second best GM in the world. Sorry.
BC, you have advanced to the next round. You'll be facing Nyla Rose. How you feeling right now?
I feel pretty good. I mean, just like King Arthur, I owned Excalibur.
What was the thing that took you over the top? Well, how were you able to tackle Excalibur in this competition?
A lot of leaking to the dirt sheets, invasions, dirty tactics, and I finally let Allie win a match.
I think that spa day too might help a little bit. Did you?
Probably. I should probably do that more often.
Yeah, just kind of get relaxed before your shows and get everybody
Dark
ready
Order
to go.
needed it.
Well, congratulations. Moving on to the semifinals. We'll see you there.
Download AEW Elite General Manager, available now on iOS and Android.